Right. What are European football fans mad about this time? Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid potentially taking place in the States. Now, organisers still want this game to take place as soon as December, I think. But fans have been reacting negatively to this. I've seen some saying, oh, modern football at its worst. It's the end of the game as we know it. Ah! Nah, let's just calm down a bit. Let's just calm down. Now, of course, fans can feel aggrieved by this happening, and this isn't the first time that something like this has been in the works or something along those lines. I recall back in 2019, Barcelona versus Girona was mooted to be played in Miami, but those plans fell flat following a fan revolt because fans were like, "Yeah, no, this isn't happening. This cannot happen." Because football is like, especially in Europe, football is just too tribal. And we have like passion and emotion in the game, and these are just some of the reasons why taking a game outside of where it's supposed to be played and take it to overseas is just some of the reasons why people don't like this happening in you. But anyway, what are the pros? First of all, fan reach. Now, La Liga has grown its fan base, but to grow it further, this is why I believe such a game should take place overseas. Now, previously, La Liga has used Messi and Ronaldo to extend its reach globally, but those players haven't been there for a while. So La Liga's thought, how else do we expand our reach? Let's take a game to the US, which isn't a bad idea in principle. Well, I can't say in principle because it's a terrible idea in principle. But by taking the game to the US, La Liga can reach new fans and existing fans who were fans of La Liga when Messi and Ronaldo are there. Also, this helps with the globalization of the game. But what are your thoughts on this so far? Now, the cons of this is travel. Now, over the last few years, we've been talking about emissions and CO2 and all that stuff. So, in that respect, clubs already travel a long way anyway to play league games, European games. And so, for clubs to, well, when I say clubs, I mean Barcelona and Atletico Madrid specifically, to play in the US, that just makes travel worse in terms of like greenhouse gases and all that stuff. Like, look, I'm no scientist or anything, so look, I'm just going based off what I've been hearing from the media. But what was I saying? Oh yes, travel. Now, it doesn't make sense in that respect because we're trying to cut down on how much emissions are used, but by taking the game to the States, does little to help that cause and only makes things worse. Another con is that local fans miss out on seeing their team. Now, imagine being a fan of any club, let's just say Arsenal and Chelsea, and you hear that this game, Arsenal versus Chelsea, won't be played in London, but will be played in, I don't know, Texas or somewhere. Like, you'll be like, wait a minute, why is this happening? Why should this happen? Why should fans miss out on seeing their team play just because bosses wants this game to be played somewhere else? Like, that's another thing I can understand. Like, why? It doesn't make sense in that respect. Like, you always want to see your teams play it somewhere where they're from, rather than taking a game to an entirely different country. That doesn't make sense. Like, it's not the NFL or the NBA where we see games being played in London or Paris or Munich. No, fans want to see their team play locally, not internationally. You get me? Another con. This goes against tradition. Now, earlier I said about tribalism and all that, but European fans are heavy on tradition, meaning that anything that goes against tradition is a massive no-no. And this right here is one of them. Like, for me as a football fan, or I'm not really much of a football fan these days, though from the outside looking in, I can feel that traditional sense that fans don't want this game to take place in the States because of tradition. But for me, I think taking off my tinted glasses of feelings, I think from a business point of view, it makes sense. But from a traditional point of view, not so much. What are your thoughts? One more thing. Can US fans recreate the atmosphere? Now, every season, we see Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid being played at Spotify Nou Camp. No, I'm not calling it Spotify Nou Camp. And the Metropolitano Stadium. Whenever this fixture is played at any of the two stadiums, the atmosphere is always vibrant. But with the game potentially being played in the States, can this atmosphere be recreated? Can US fans recreate the atmosphere that Spanish fans do year in, year out? Well, we can only see what happens next. So, what are your thoughts on this situation? Should Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid be played in the States? Yes or no? What are your pros and cons?